Joey Reese and Pickle Food Shop. Get yourself a pickle. Get yourself a boot. Joey Reese and Pickle Food Shop. Pickle time is happening.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pickle and Boot Shop. This is your good host, Joe Yerke. Now this is Reese and the guy that has to edit this later, Daniel Rock.
Thank you for having me. Am I a co-host or am I a guest? What is this?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for doing this, dude.
You're welcome.
Are you in the path of a hurricane, first of all?
No,
thanks.
Not really. Maybe 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts in the region. Okay. But my dad's in the path, and I feel like he's in Orlando. He's looks like he's trying to rough it out.
Oh my gosh. Where are you?
Come up here. I'm north of Savannah, Georgia, in Rincon.
Okay.
I live in the little town that Showbread was originally from.
I didn't know that. I thought you lived in Florida for some reason.
No, well, I mean, I'm just like an hour-ish north, so
okay.
I can get to Florida in minutes, essentially, so.
Yeah.
Florida is an hour and a half south. South Carolina, where I work now, is just 30 minutes north.
You drive to South Carolina for work?
I do now, as about a month and a half ago.
Wow.
It's just a 30-minute drive up the interstate.
Just quick 30 minutes to another state.
Yeah, just, double taxed. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do you have to pay state income tax in both states?
I feel like I do. We moved here like 20 years ago, and my wife taught in South Carolina for her first 8 years. And I remember at tax time, we'd feel the pain.
Yeah. Does she still teach?
Yeah, she's in year 19 or 20.
Whoa.
Yeah, 5th grade.
All right, you got to keep that going. That's your retirement.
Yeah,
whatever
I don't have one. So,
honey, you need a foot massage? You need?
We'll see if she makes it past year 20.
Need another back rub? I'm here for you. I got your lunch.
Yeah. Hey, honey, I know you had open house till 7 o'clock tonight, but I'm telling you last minute I'm doing a podcast for the next hour.
Oh, no. That's what's happening right now?
Well, no, she just got home. Technically, the kids are off for fall break for the next 3 days.
All right.
So they're all technically on vacation now. But my daughter's at a marching band thing in Augusta or something, and I get to pick her up at 12:30 in the morning. Marching band life.
Yeah, I have this thing too. My daughter is in 8th grade, and she got picked up by the high school marching band. She's the only trombone player.
Okay, so they need her.
That's how small it is where we live. They're just like, get that one. So they picked her, and now she's in the high school marching band.
Is she enjoying it?
She loves it. She loves it so much.
My daughter's in 10th grade, and it's her life at the moment.
Yeah.
It's just exhausting because, there's rehearsals 3 nights a week. There's the Friday night games. There's the out-of-town games.
Do they do parades, and then they have, competitions and stuff?
Yeah, and
I was not expecting that crap.
No, we were not prepared last year. It's physically draining as a parent.
Yeah, I was like, well, sure. You go to practice twice a week, and then you play the football games. That's fine. No.
Yeah.
It's put it into all the time.
No, put it into context. Like last Saturday, our school was hosting a competition. So when you host a competition, you're not allowed to actually compete. But you perform at the end of it.
Yeah.
So I show up at 8 o'clock. I've skipped the whole day. I sit there for an hour to see her perform for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I sit there for another hour when they're released to be able to leave.
Oh, my
geez. 2.5 hours to see 10 minutes, which is great. But, you're sitting in the bleacher. You all right down there?
Yeah. No. I'm wincing. I'm wincing because of what you're saying.
Okay. It was just tickling you down under. I saw the scratching.
I had the case for my Power Beats Pro in my
awesome,
which I can't find. I have the case. I took it with me to Furnace Fest, and I was like, on the airplane, like, cool, I'm gonna watch Planet of the Apes, and then no headphones.
The original Planet of the Apes.
No, I wish.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to get through the new one. So the first one has James Franco.
I finally watched those for the first time this year. I'm a big fan of the originals.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for me to, but the first three are actually really, really, really good.
The new one is not?
The new ones. Oh, the newest one's okay, but it's years in the future.
Okay.
But the first three, I was quite surprised.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
a nice break.
I watched about half of it, and then they were like, you gotta shut that off, sir. And then we landed.
It's hard to watch movies at home because the kids have the TV all the time.
Yeah.
The time.
Yeah. It's true. And if you start watching something, then they want to watch it.
Yes.
So you have to be careful. You're not,
and all the cool
watch
shows,
Game of Thrones.
No, not even close. And now my daughter hangs out in the living room while she does homework, I think, trying to get a peek of what we're watching. So we're keeping it safe to like X-Files and 90s stuff. Since we're doing show and tell, here's a little Thanos.
That's sweet.
Yeah, a little desk Thanos.
Hey, so that's it? That's the whole show and tell? You're just like...
Yeah, I bought this in Buffalo, New York last summer on vacation. I was like $40. It's right here on my desk.
Does he have the Infinity Gauntlet on? No.
Yeah, if you look really closely. My camera won't focus in. I don't want to.
Don't. Okay, I believe you.
Thank you. So, look, it's a rat. Good show.
You could be like, this is Papa Smurf, but he's been on steroids for 30 years. Because it's blurry enough.
Since I'm just doing show and tell. Joey Ramone, thank you, Joe, for sending to me.
Oh,
for my birthday or something.
Joe and his Funko Pops.
Yeah, I know. And what else do I got here? Sex Panther from Anchorman.
Does it work?
No, it's from the Anchorman board game.
Oh,
I bought it just for the Panther.
Not 99% of the time, all of the time. What does he say?
60%, 90%.
All of the time.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd. Yeah.
So this is what it's like, just riffing show and tell. I know there's a lot of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. You've been watching it? You've seen it before?
Yeah. I remember I remember on Twitter back in 2021, I thought the show was a joke. I thought it was an April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
No way they're starting a podcast on April 1st.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I don't know, I saw something on the internet.
No, it's real.
I've made it to episode 28 so far.
These fools are still going. I saw a post about something about Furnace Fest, like Kevin Brennan made it, and somebody's like, they're still doing that?
So I don't know. Yeah, it stinks that I wasn't able to be there with everybody. It's funny because like Pete Hutchison's a friend of mine from New York.
Okay.
We go way back, and we met up we've gone to shows together. We saw the Insiders in like 99.
Yeah.
We saw you guys together at Inside Out. And then we met up at Furnace Fest, but I happened to be picking up Kevin to bunk with Kevin at Furnace Fest last year.
This is last year.
Yeah. And then they became friends. And now all my friends are friends, and I'm at home by myself.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's happened.
That's a bummer.
It's all right, though.
They seem to have a lot of fun at Furnace Fest.
They did, yeah. There's this Brock Gittes.
Yeah.
I know you got to meet him. I have no clue what the appeal is of that guy. He's all over the internet.
I'm going to tell you right now, if you meet that guy in person, he's strikingly handsome.
I see that.
I was like, am I gay? I didn't know this. What am I?
He tells everybody he sprained his ankle, and then turned at a 5-iron show. Then it turned into his ACL. Then it turned into his kidney. Like it's a new story. Everybody he tells on every group, and so I always give him a Picard face palm whenever he gets. He runs a mile every day. Is that enough to get your heart rate going?
Yeah, that's a good amount. That's a good It's every day he does that.
Yeah,
Jeez.
wherever he's at. And there's a video of him that Kevin took him just doing little back and forth lines in the parking lot at Furnace
Oh,
Fest.
my.
He's just got this holding a vinyl.
Yeah. Just
I don't get it. I don't get the appeal.
he's
Don't get it.
if you got to meet him. Like I was like, I think what
I want to be that guy.
I want to be that guy. I'm thinking about growing a mustache now. That's how I felt.
I went through high school with a mustache like that.
In
So.
high school.
Yeah, I mean, when you lived in the
You
country in
look
New
like
York,
Yeah, man. You look
Peter
like
Dinklage.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's cool. That's
You
very
knew
cool.
what I look like.
Very cool.
Yeah,
So you grew up in upstate New York,
yeah, north of the Adirondacks, right on the Quebec border.
and then did your folks move down?
No, my wife and I got married in 2005,
Uh-huh.
and we wanted to move as far away as possible.
From the
Life.
Adirondack.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Adirondack.
There was nothing going on in that area. There was a lot of family has moved.
Your
my-
dad
my-
moved to Florida.
Yeah, he's
the
in
path
Orlando.
of
Yeah,
the
he's been in
herd.
Orlando again. Yeah, my mom's in like Buffalo, New York now. One set of my in-laws is just north of Atlanta.
Okay.
I just what we wanted. There was no life there. You kind of, it was one of those small town areas. If you grew up there, you pretty much stayed there, and if
Yeah.
you left, you never went back. Unless you're Pete
Okay.
Hutchison and you just travel constantly. He
Yeah,
travels constantly.
He's living the dream.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he followed Switchfoot for like years.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's like one of their like super fans. I've got a
That's a
picture
good band
somewhere.
to pick. Like if
I've
you
got a picture. Him and I were watching Switchfoot at Inside Out in 2001,
Uh-huh.
and you were standing a little bit left to us watching Switchfoot. Jerome had just joined the band. We noticed you were like a few feet over, and I remember John tried to crowd surf,
Yeah.
and he ran and took off, and nobody caught him.
No.
And we were all in a panic looking at him like, oh crap. But
Oh,
I
my
remember
gosh.
I remember you being just over there, and me and Peter here, and I got a picture of you watching like just before like that failed. Nobody caught him. Like, it wasn't even the right like setup for crowd
Man.
surfing. But they were so good.
Yeah.
They still are.
They're
but,
incredible.
yeah.
I people ask us a lot, like, are you guys bummed that Switchfoot got so famous? And they kind of, they when we took them on the first tour with us
Yeah.
that they went on, they were like, hey, we were just about to break up. And then
Yeah.
you guys asked us to go out, and we're like, are you kidding? You guys are freaking amazing. Like we just
Really?
had the Legend of Chin, but we all
Yeah.
friggin' loved it, and we were begging 5 Minute Walk like to find them.
Really?
Yes. So Frank called up Charlie Peacock and was like, hey, a band on your album, or like a band on your label, my band wants to go out with them. And Charlie was like, yep. How much are they going to charge? And Frank is like, this is funny about Five Iron. They won't charge. They won't charge bands to go out with them. So he was like, it's fine, like, so they came out, they started getting a little bit of traction, and then we took them out again with the Smiley Kids.
Okay.
And it was like right at the beginning of the summer, like it was like a spring tour. And, we're like, are you guys playing Cornerstone? We'll see you there. And they were so bummed. They're like, no, Cornerstone won't have us. We keep trying to get on, but they won't.
Sheesh.
They won't let us play. And we're like, oh, we can fix this. So we had one of those encore stages, Encore 2, which is
Yep.
kind of like they're like at 9 o'clock, they're like, you can just play as long as you want.
Yeah.
Some bands would just go. Like they'd play like 77s would play like till 2 a.m. or something. But we were like, what if they just came up in the middle of our set and they played their songs. So they flew into like Peoria, came down and did it. And after that, I don't think they had trouble getting shows.
See, I didn't know that was happening at the time until, hearing it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing them Creation 2000, they played at like 10 in the morning, and then Inside Out. And then I saw them like right when The Beautiful Letdown came out.
Yes.
With Pete in Albany, New York. Drew had just joined the band, so they just became a 5-piece.
And they had Jerome Fontamilis.
Yeah, Jerome was already there. Any era of seeing Switchfoot, whether 3-piece, 4-piece, or 5-piece, they're on. But yeah, you guys would squeeze them in, right? If there was a chance to.
Well, that was definitely the last time we could give them a hand up. Yep. Like after that, they were gold. Like people got it.
Okay.
They were like, "This band's rad."
Well, let me ask you this: did you do like a similar thing with the band Fillmore? I remember Fillmore playing Creation 2000 in between like you guys and the W's, but they weren't on the bill. And I'm like, wait, who are these guys? And I thought maybe they were friends or somebody that you guys gave time to.
Yeah, no.
In retrospect.
Definitely that was, so Frank was trying to develop Fillmore to see if they would get anywhere.
Okay.
So we did like a split 7-inch with them.
Okay.
He made some videos for some of their songs. Steve Taylor is in one. It's amazing.
I don't know if I've seen their videos.
Maybe it's just one video, but like Frank had a video guy that was on staff. And so this guy did our first video, the Flowery Song, and then our second video once Frank hired him. And then he kind of became like the shit. Like his name's Brandon Dickerson, and then he was like he directed like a Sixpence videos, like for There She Goes and Kiss Me.
Yeah, that's the perfect time to be working for Sixpence.
Yes, exactly. So like he left 5 Minute Walk, but he was doing videos for everybody. He did everybody, like Model Engine, us, Dime Store. But then, he went way up. He got in with the Jonas Brothers. He did a bunch of their videos. He's done I think Mandy Moore. He's done Switchfoot's videos, some Switchfoot videos, I think. You can look him up on Wikipedia, guys.
Yeah.
Brandon Dickerson. And then he made a documentary movie called Call and Response. And it's kind of about how we as Christians have a responsibility to to at least know where the things we buy are coming from. Like we should number one be stopping slavery, because it exists in our current time more than it ever has in history. There's more slaves now in the world than there were when half our country thought it was a good way to make money and keep their votes, owning people, which is but like it's more, and he's pointing this out. So it's
I
a
need
good
to check
movie.
that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like my kids are, they're an age with a 10th grader and a 4th grader. They're asking lots of questions. They hear stuff on the news. They hear stuff from both sides of the fence, and they're just trying to figure out the world. And it's very hard as a parent, and then even as trying to be a Christian parent, just really hard to explain it to them, because everything is so polarized. It doesn't make sense to them why people are working for nothing. How can countries still be at war? How can it's blowing their mind, and you just, as a parent, you feel like this isn't it wasn't like this for us growing up.
No,
and I don't know how to guide them through it. It's difficult.
Do you drive them to school?
I drive my son to school. I did drive my daughter for a few years when we try to keep the kids close by where my wife teaches.
Yeah.
But sometimes it works out, my son can sleep in longer if I bring him to school. And so I've gone through long phases where I've taken both of them.
So I would vote for taking your kids to school, driving them to school, to take the long way. Like drive your kids to school, and they can't escape. They have to sit there and talk to you. So
meanwhile, my daughter's earbuds are like just sticking in there, so I don't even really notice on the right ear.
Oh man, I'll tell Lyndon, I'll be like, turn off your phone, and then like NPR has like that 5-minute segment that comes up every morning. So I have like the NPR app, and we'll listen to like 5-minute recap of the news.
That's cool.
And then I make them talk to me about it, or we'll talk about whatever, especially. Yeah, it's probably about 15 minutes for me to get the kids to school, but like they're stuck in the car, and I love that time because it's just me talking to them, trying to get stuff out of them, and just.
If you're able to keep that going, especially with your oldest.
Yeah.
Because what I've encountered, and everybody's confirming it with me, that, for girls ages 14 through 16, they get quite moody, and they get moodier, and they get moodier to where they literally just can't stand to look at you or talk to you. They flock towards their mother.
No, it's the opposite, man.
Okay.
They go towards
You're able to
the
keep
dad.
That. Okay.
They push their moms away. I think like biologically, that is what they're feeling. Like they're starting to compete with other women.
Gotcha.
Estrogen is getting in there. They're like, and there's a shitload of testosterone that girls get. Like they get aggressive. So they're going through all these hormonal fluxes. But like if you're just there, the dad, and you're like telling them you love them, tell them how pretty they are, giving them hugs, supporting them, they go to you. And that's like, I don't know. I mean, like, you're not going to keep them from having bad boyfriends.
Yeah.
But like, that's a step in the right direction. They're going to have some bad boyfriends.
Right. We have the parenting thing and even marriage thing. Sorry. Nothing prepares you for it. The mental tax of just trying to hold it all together in spite of still trying to work, in spite of other family issues. I mean, you know it. Joe knows it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all it's older hard. And nothing prepared us for it.
No, and I think you get bad advice all around.
Yes, correct.
Your parents aren't probably giving you the best advice. Your friends aren't. Like they just want to throw out some 5-second quips and be like, all right, I did my job.
Right.
Daniel's marriage is saved. But, like, if I have one piece of advice for everyone that's married is like, don't wait till you're in trouble to go to therapy. Don't wait for that. Like, you don't need to do that at all. Like, you should work that into your marriage. Like, hey,
for sure.
Reese said we should do this and get a tune-up. Just do it. Like, just once a year, once every 2 years, go talk to a therapist, change up therapists, find somebody that there's all these horror stories. You hear Joe talking about his first marriage, how he had a bad one, and this person was like friends with his ex-wife, and they were just kind of talk about shoes and stuff, and but if you get somebody that's really concerned about you and understands where you're coming from, that you can both talk about, man, here is where I don't feel like I'm being heard, or here is a need that I have that is not being fulfilled. I think that is invaluable, especially, like if you have a great insurance plan and it covers some of that or all of it.
I personally still go to therapy. It's been, I've seen different people over the years, and now that I'm working full time and I'm getting away from freelancing, during the day, it's trickier getting appointments, but like it's one of those things where I just want to keep doing it. I've been in therapy for when I worked a long-term ministry job. That's a whole long story.
Yeah.
About 5 years in, it just wrecked me mentally, but I still stayed for another 5+ years, and I stayed in therapy just to keep working, fighting the therapist, telling them, no, God has me here. He has me here. He has me here. And then all of a sudden I quit that job before COVID after 10 years, just completely defeated. And then I'm just completely useless to my family again, having to start over, find somebody.
Yeah.
But gosh, I love having that time, but it's just so darn expensive. And if your insurance isn't good, and then all of a sudden the appointment's over. And it's like, man, but I like this person. I'd pay to stay 2 more hours.
Right.
Because you're in that safe space for such that nugget that you really got to maximize it. I enjoy it. And I want to stick with it, but it's just not easy for people to get that kind of care, I feel like.
Yeah.
My daughter has asked for some sessions here and there. She deals with a lot of anxiety, and she tries to, she puts a lot of pressure on herself with schoolwork, things that we try to help her with, but we're just not able to kind of get through. But just trying to get her to appointments is extremely difficult, but we stick with it. I see the value in it. It's made a huge difference for me. It helped get me back into the work world instead of just being cooped up at home.
Yeah.
Trying to find projects to do online and whatnot. I'm all for it. I'm all for just doing it anyway. And there's definitely been times I've suggested it in our marriage, basically for times that I've screwed up and made big time mistakes. It was always me. My wife never really wanted to go through with it, but in the end, I ultimately realized the issues were mine. And once I worked on my issues for her, then I noticed that she kind of started to respect it, and it made her start thinking about things that I would say over the years about how these are my needs and they're very different from yours. But a lot of that stuff didn't even come until 2 years ago. We've been married 20 years.
Jeez, man.
And we didn't really make real progress until, a couple of years ago. I was telling somebody at work today, if I could just go back and be like, Daniel, stop being so lazy around the house. Who cares about what you want for a while? Sacrifice a little bit for your spouse.
Yeah.
And serve them in the way that like God serves the church, kind of be selfless towards that other person. And a lot of people don't agree with that in terms of marriage. A lot of people will say, well, if they make you compromise who you are, well, no, I wouldn't want to be married to somebody that compromised who I am. But at the same time, if that's an extension of me, my wife's an extension of me, I should be willing to lay my life down for her, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I was explaining that to somebody today and they thought I was crazy. So I try to see the biblical parallel. I try to make sense. One of my personal struggles is I try to make sense of, my entire existence, from my upbringing to all the quirky jobs and all of the mental situations and all of the near-death experiences, or our family's been rescued from sliding off a cliff in our car in the mountains in Tennessee, like all these crazy experiences. And it's like, okay, but I'm 42. I'm still massively depressed. I'm finally making some good progress on it. I worked in ministry. I was kind of manipulated into that job, not realizing it was going to be ministry. 10 years, no retirement, recruited from a great job. Like all of these disappointments, best friends, family things. It's like I'm always trying to be the good guy and do the right thing and be honest and have integrity. Yeah, I just feel like I'm the person that's always burned. And so there's been those moments over the years where, I'm just yelling at God, like, just throw me a bone. Like, you owe me. You owe me for all this stuff.
How does he answer that, Daniel?
It's always, it's usually a reminder of, Daniel, do you remember when I did this? Do you remember when I did this? Do you remember when I did this? Do you remember 5 years ago when you're in your vehicle and it rolled off the side of a cliff with no ravine, and a little tree that big stopped us upside down.
Jeez.
You know, like, and that, you know, just, and it's like, okay, I've just lost focus. I've lost my faith. Or I've not, you know, one of the hardest things is trying, I think, as a human anyways, we try to handle things on our own.
Yeah.
And giving like our full faith over to God, I feel like that's the kind of thing that grandmas are able to do.
Yeah, because they've had 80 years of yelling at God. They've had 80 years of like just.
But they don't tell you that they do that. They don't tell you, don't know that.
How much faith does that take, though, to be able to just swear at God? Like, just be like, you fucking asshole.
Right.
I'm so mad at you right now. Like, why have you left me here?
Right.
Like that. It's not just like, because you still have belief in that. Like, you're still like, I believe in God. I believe that he's good enough that I'm talking to the creator of the universe this way, and I'm not going to die. Right. And that, like, I don't know. I mean, like, there's something safe about that, too.
Well, see, I never had felt that. And I remember, you know, there were episodes, you know, years ago, you know, when you went through a lot of difficult times and you talked about, like, you know, yelling at God and cursing at God. And it wasn't that I felt like that gives me liberty to do the same. But it was like, wait, God should be God is a safe space. Yeah, I can be angry at him and be honest. Yeah, but I'm still acknowledging that he's God.
You know, I feel like this is part of the reason I swear so much. Is I feel like when I don't, I'm lying. You know, like I get it. If I'm in the company of someone who does not listen to this podcast, by the way. But, you know, I work with a bunch of old people. I'm not going to cuss in front of them.
Right.
But you can bet I cuss in my office. And
you understand the space, the people you're around, and they're just words.
Yeah, but, like, if I'm holding that in when I'm talking to God, like, what am I trying to prove? Like,
all of a sudden you're trying to sound holy. You're trying to sound, dear Jesus, thank you for this day. Okay. Yeah. Now that I've asked for your forgiveness, now I'm going to be angry at you. Like, we try to get all, it's like, well, no, I can just literally just talk to him, yell at him, cry on the floor and weep for, like, you know, like not understanding, you know, my purpose or why I've gone through the things I've gone through. And how it's not fair to my kids, it's not fair to my wife for me to be, you know, for at times in my adult life just being a wreck. And, yeah, no, I felt like here you say that, and then even like times Joe's talking about, you know, what was inspiring about Joe, and I'm not saying that this wasn't the case with you, because Joe had been in some really dark places, but he really intentionally had to lean on the people that were closest around him. Yeah. And then he had to realize too that, okay, a lot of the legalism, a lot of the legalistic stuff of the church, I don't need to hold on to that stuff during the healing process or the grieving process. All that, I think, can just hold you back from healing and moving on. Yeah. Because I grew up in the 80s and 90s. You kept everything to yourself. You weren't allowed to be transparent with your parents. You weren't allowed to be transparent with your youth leaders. You weren't allowed to be transparent with your pastors. And it wasn't until after I got married that I even started to understand the concept of grace. I would always keep things inside, you know, a secretive nature to me. Yeah. Because every time I tried to bring up something I was struggling with, and these are just tame issues. This is not like drugs or sleeping around. Everybody shut me down. Just to talk about lust. Like, am I the only guy that's struggling with, you know, looking at women inappropriately and doing stuff in the bedroom, you know, like, fiddling myself, all this stuff. Like, I had no concept that was normal. And you know how hard it is to gather, you know, as a sheltered Christian kid, how hard it is to bring that up to, like, my dad. Yeah. And to have him shut me down. I gather the guts to bring it up to my mom, shuts me down. Meet with my youth pastor, shuts me down. Meet with the pastor, shuts me down. What am I supposed to take from that?
Yeah. Yeah. So then there's my argument. And you still go to church, don't you?
Off and on. Not super consistently. We have a place when we make it.
This is why I don't have anybody making me go to church anymore. Like
Right.
my mom is dead and I'm divorced.
Uh-huh.
So I don't have that source of guilt. And then to me, I have yet to find a church that I'm like impressed by like everybody just hanging out, humbly, like helping each other out, helping each other up. You know, like Joe talks about his church being like that. And I think the Salvationist Church, like that's their roots, you
Yeah.
know, like helping people out. But like, I have yet to find that. And so for me, it seems that like when I go to church, it is about how to be good, how to get God to like you. It seems like even though they're not going to be honest about it, like, hey, you're struggling with this. Let's talk about, let's do this and this. Like, here's where your sin is. Here's where you're not having enough faith. And nobody is like, we don't need to do this. Like, nobody in the church, it just seems like nobody is at least every church I've ever been to, which is at least 1,000 churches. It's just being like, you don't need to come here. Like, what you need is, like, what this should be about is you're getting encouraged and we're filling you up. And if you need help, we're here to help. Or let's plug you in, man. You don't feel good about yourself? Let's go help people who are worse.
Yeah.
And see how that fixes things. That's not happening in a lot of churches. And so,
No. Well, no, it's tough. And the Bible talks about being in fellowship with other believers. And some people say home church is the same. Internet church is the same. I definitely believe
it's weird.
You need to be, I do believe we need to be in some kind of Christian community.
Yeah.
At minimum. Even if it's just going to a church's small group because you connect with the people there, but you don't go to the services on Sunday. Because you're just not feeling it there, but you're plugged into a local group and you're like, you know what? We're trying to serve people in our community. We have great discussions. We share meals together. There's a lot to be said in that environment, but the American church as a whole, I don't know if it really lines up biblically with what the church is supposed to be. When you look in third world countries, they're just grateful to have a seat to sit on outside and somebody that's speaking to them, and they sing songs with maybe just one instrument, and it's at its Christianity and its church at its purest level.
Like they have no choice but to strip everything down to just its basic.
Because I grew, I worked at the church I worked at, I helped grow from 300 people to 1,400 at one time, but I grew to hate it because all we focused on, I mean, we did ministry and the sermons were decent, but we were really just trying to put on a big giant production week after week after week. And I was responsible for helping make it happen. But I just wanted to do stuff in the community and help the schools, put on events, do community outreaches. I don't want to put all of my work into a big Christmas Eve performance and then get chewed out at the Christmas tree a couple hours later because a camera wasn't working or a volunteer because we wanted to show off on the internet what we did.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't take it anymore. After 10 years of it, I couldn't take it anymore. And so, yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
This is a community. Like this is
Correct.
believers fellowshipping.
Correct.
Like people on Pickle and Boot Shop or on a Pickle Home Companion or just on Facebook. Just like, that's it. Like if you're looking to check a box, like doing what God wants from you, it's happening. But I don't even think God asks you to do that. I just think it's advice. I think Paul's saying, do not deny the fellowship of the saints. That is about like, hey man, you need to help other people and they need to be there for you because you're going to need it.
Right.
Don't get away from that. Like, don't get lost.
Yeah, somewhere along the lines, Christianity in America became this big checkbox list of things you do and things you don't. And I grew up with that, and it wasn't until college that it was like, wait, Corinthians 12 talks about other gifts of the Spirit. 12, not just speaking in tongues. And why am I the only kid that it's not happening to? But I'm the one that actually is trying to live for God. Everyone else isn't, yet why are they all speaking in it? It just misaligned priorities. And then moving south, I am glad that I worked at the church that I did for 10 years, because we definitely did break down, we were intentional in breaking down the walls of what it meant to be able to just go to church coming as you are. Yeah. Being in such a conservative area, and this is the area that Showbread came from. And I bumped shoulders with people that knew them when they were growing up and when they were cast out of their church for the music they're listening to and all that stuff. But the church I was a part of literally helped change the entire region to where people aren't asked to go sit in the back if you're wearing a t-shirt, or if someone came in with tattoos. Like, it was like that in 2005 when we moved here. But I can say that I'm proud to say that I was part of, for 10 years of a movement through a church. Yes, we were very production heavy, but it was very important to us that people knew that they could come to church however they were. It didn't matter their orientation, didn't matter how they looked, how they dressed. So many people were hurt by the Southern Baptist Church, that we knew that, and we wanted to be a place for them. And so I'm proud of that. And I look back, and I look at all the churches that I visited and be like, oh wow, they wouldn't have allowed me to walk in with tattoos 15 years ago.
They didn't allow black people until the 90s.
Right.
Like, they didn't allow races to mix.
Correct.
Until the 90s. I have so many words about the Southern Baptist.
Yeah, let's save that for another time. You need to get Josh from Showbread on a conversation with you. They've been one of my favorite bands.
They're amazing. Hey, let's wrap up this freebie part, and then we're going to do the patronizer version.
Okay, we talk about Joe.
Of course we can.
Yes,
it's going to have so many nuggets.
I hope so.
You guys should have subscribed to our patronizer account, but it's too late now because you can't. Oh wait, you can. Go ahead and do it then.
Yeah.
Daniel, I'm so glad to talk to you, dude.
Yeah, man. I appreciate this.
Yes. Okay. I'm stopping this one, and then we're starting the next one. Do I have
to do anything on my end?
Yeah, you have to say piece of pizza.
Piece of pizza.
We start